Hello, and welcome to the ASDRP Researcher Interview Series. Today I'll be talking with Anushka Peer. Thank you so much for being here today. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking. To start us off, I would love to know how you found out about ASDRP.
So I found out about ASDRP from my cousin who was actually in ASDRP a year before me. He was doing computer science and he actually just graduated. And he basically told me that it's an interesting opportunity. And because I wanted to be a doctor at the time, I wanted to go into science. So he told me that I would possibly be interested in it as well. And I've been here for a year now and it's going great.
Awesome, that's wonderful. What high school do you go to?
I go to James Logan High School. I'm going to be a rising junior there.
Nice. And where is your high school?
It's in Union City, California.
Okay, very cool. Who is your advisor this summer?
My advisor is Edward New. I work on organic and medicinal chemistry.
Very cool. And would you mind describing the project that you're working on this summer?
Yeah, so I'm like involved in three different projects, but my mainly involved project is in the chemical neuroscience. And as a brief overview, we focus on a small molecule that is a derivative of physostigmine, which is a inhibitor of acetylcholinesterase, which is enhancing a transmitter in the brain called acetylcholine that can be making it a solid treatment for diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. And our project is focusing on synthesizing analogs of this small molecule to see if it can inhibit acetylcholinesterase better than our original through biological assays and computer modeling. So what I work on is synthesizing these analogs so we can do biological assays on them.
Okay, wow, that sounds really fascinating. Um, what is a analog?
So an analog is like a derivative of an original molecule, but it's changed in some way. So we're basically changing the chemical structure of it.
Okay, nice. And do you work in the lab? Like, do you come into the
Yes,
physical
I work
lab?
in the lab. I spend like 20 hours a week every summer.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Um, and you said that this isn't your first session at ASDRP,
Yes,
right?
this is it's been a year, so I joined last summer, so I guess like 3 semesters.
Very cool. And what projects did you work on before this summer?
So, I've actually been involved in the same three projects for like a whole year because I really was very interested in these. Um, so a lot of our group is focused on like medicinal chemistry. So my other projects are also about small molecules. One of them having like anti-cancer properties, and another one being like a treatment for COVID. So, but my main focus has been this project.
Okay, nice. So a lot of really awesome medical research. That's so cool. Um, what got you interested in choosing this group besides your interest in being a doctor?
Well, I wanted to do something that I didn't really know a lot about, and that was definitely chemistry. And I got into this group after like going through their projects, and I thought that it was very interesting. Chemistry is something that like I've never really like gotten into, and I wanted to like force myself to learn it. And I ended up very like having a lot of fun and enjoying it a lot. So it went well.
Nice, very cool. Did you have any research experience before you joined ASDRP?
No, I did not. This was my first full experience.
Awesome. And are you enjoying it?
Yes, it's very fun.
That's great. Would you describe what a day in the lab is like, what you typically do?
Okay, so I normally go to lab maybe like 3 or 4 times in a week, and normally like in the project that I just talked about, we either like I go in to set up a reaction depending on what other people have done. So our project, I think there's like 10 active people that are doing it together. So we have like a spreadsheet to track what we have to get done each day. And when I go in, I normally like plan out what I want to accomplish. And then I go in there, I either like set up a reaction or I column a reaction where we're basically like purifying a reaction after it's done. And then our group focuses on NMR a lot, where we like monitor the peaks in the reaction. So like after it's purified, we want to see if it's actually our product. So maybe I might be taking like a few NMRs, working on reactions, stuff like that.
Nice. That sounds like a really interesting and also very busy day and week that you have. Um, what is a challenge that you've encountered throughout the research process?
I think for me, the biggest challenge is understanding like the theoretical or the knowledge side. For me, I've never took like a chemistry class until I started, so it's definitely been like a huge gap for me. And at first, it was like very irritating that I couldn't understand things, and because of that, I couldn't do as much as my peers were doing. And then the thing is like it's easy to do stuff in lab, but you have to understand like why you're doing it, like the mechanistic aspect, like why are we changing the carbon group, stuff like that. And as I continued to work here and I continued to ask questions, it became a lot easier for me to understand everything. And now I feel like I can really like explain my project better and also like have more suggestions and things like that.
That's great. Yeah, it sounds like I've heard a lot about the researchers saying that just nailing down the specific language and the specific processes is like one of the biggest challenges that they
That's so
encounter.
true. Yeah.
And so for my final question today, I would love